I always imagined that in our communities that we could find a way to support one another through the final season of life in a way that was nourishing for us as caregivers and for the families of loved ones and for the one who was actually experiencing that transition.
My first experience of CCLD was walking in the door early last July of 2023, with David Solomon beside me to meet with Aditi and talk about if CCLD could be a good place or space for David to spend the final days of his life.
We're all learning to embrace our full selves here, and most of the time we haven't been given permission to do that in other communities. And what's really unique, I think, about here is that it's not going anywhere. So this palpable love is not only at the bedside of those in their dying season, but it's everywhere. It's when you're doing the lawn care or taking care of the house. It's the culture we're creating, is that it's people first. We take care of each other, and part of that is learning to take care of ourselves, which is often the hardest part.
Care that Jay was given was just beyond amazing. It was just more than either one of us could ever dream. It was just fabulous. And each person, everybody is so dedicated. They're tremendously dedicated. And everyone comes from the heart. And you can just feel the love. Everybody just emits this tremendous love and concern and caring and nurturing. It's just, it was just so beautiful, and it's still beautiful.
So a big piece of coming to the CCLD sanctuary for me, as well as for Jana and her husband Keith, was that when we were here, especially for Keith, if I was to speak about communities, like instead of him having to be the 24-hour caregiver, he was able to literally just be her husband.
Just the experience of having the community of people all here for her purpose and being able to support her, whether it was the 24/7 nurses or the death doulas that were there, random people that just kind of came and went. We're all here for her, and putting all that energy into her, but also taking care of me too, because here I am, at the end of this 2-year journey, just like, so, I've waited for this week for my whole life sort of thing, and then it just came and just happened, and, everything just kind of really came together organically. People were like, I'm going to go get this, I'm going to go get this, and then someone reached out to this group, raised some money in this group to bring us, different things.
He wanted to continue to live and thrive in the care and the love that he was receiving, and it was all about community. It was more than what I could just give him at home.
Dee was the person that she said, I got you, I've got you, and I was so relieved, and I knew that Jana was going to be well cared for and ushered out and have as much of the energy, the positive and open energy that she needed, and that it didn't need to just come from me. It was everyone that stepped foot onto this property. It's everyone that was, especially with the fire, holding space there, and that was a very intentional area where you could go and you could release as well.
I've always felt comfortable in those spaces, and if I can help others feel more comfortable in that inevitable space of age, then I'm doing what I was called to do.
What I learned from this experience here, and I believe David did also, because he was able to verbalize some things to me in the first few days, is I'll put it in question form. Why on earth do we not have CCLDs all over this world? What is going on in our culture?
I really don't know how I would have gotten through Jay's transition. I don't know how Jay would have gotten through it if this place and community had not been
So
available.
building an organization like this is really about holding the heart at the center and the love and the intentional living that we're trying to create and to build a culture around that. So the culture is the hardest piece to land. We want a culture that is inclusive of every difference that's available in human form, and yet cohesive enough that people feel like they belong to something.
I can't imagine dying another way than around people who care for you and are here to see you through transition to the next life.
It never really dawned on me until it happened of how crucial and important community is. It's essential.
This work lives in all of us intrinsically as something we were all meant to do from the beginning of time. You don't need to be a doctor, you don't need to be a nurse, you don't need to be a social worker, you don't even have to be a healing arts practitioner. You have to be a human being, and we remember how to be human beings together.
What I hope for CCLD is their commitment to this work continues. And I say I'm a part of it now. It's a team and a group effort. I hope that CCLD and the concept and the peace that this place brings to dying people and their family members will continue to grow and spread like wildfire all over this world.